Hey guys, Nicole here with Obscure Reptiles and Caging, and today I'm going to be showing you some hatchling ball pythons and a couple other things. So let's get started. Hey guys, so today not only are we going to be showing you some babies that are still in the process of coming out of the eggs, we've actually got a mom who's having eggs. Hopefully she's all done so we can show you, and I'm going to show you babies that have already hatched. Some have shed, some have not, but let's get started. So first here I'm going to show you guys is from our Albino Pied. There are actually quite a few eggs. We had to split them up. There was too much to fit all in one bin, but they're starting to poke their heads out, and just starting to poke their heads out is actually some more pieds. So first we'll do the Albino Pieds. Of course they've all tucked their heads back in now that I've got them open, but hopefully you guys can see. You can see that this is where I cut. As you guys can see, this is where I cut because the little babies had already started to pip, which would be that smaller hole right there. So when they're getting close, here we'll actually connect it so I can show you guys how easy it is to make sure you're not hurting them. So the babies tend to stay right towards the bottom. So if you use a brand new clean razor blade, it cuts eggshells very, very quickly, very easily. Just like that. Doesn't touch the baby. But this is our Albino Pied clutch. You can actually see those were the veins. So when you first cut the egg, sometimes some of them still have a little bit of blood running through them. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't hurt them at all. As long as, you know, they've had their at least 57 days in their egg. But this one we just cut a small window. You can see the white on this one a lot more. But you never want to pull the babies out, anything like that. Just sneaking a peek like this doesn't hurt them. You can touch them a little bit. It's not going to bother them. You just don't want to pull them out of the egg. And you can make a bigger flap, but I just like to do little ones so it holds a lot of moisture in. The babies can still get out and they can still hide down in there if they would like to. Next we have, so this pied was put with several other pieds. And like always, it looks like the Mojave Pied is the only male who ever ends up fertilizing any of the eggs. But these ones are at day 57 or 58. But like this one, for example, is a normal pied. And most of them ended up being Mojave Pieds. So like these eggs are one day behind the other eggs, so you could still see the red from the veins. But you can see how the veins have actually fallen off. When, like for example, if you cut this on day 54 or 55, those veins would still be attached up here. Generally what they do is they're on the egg, then they fall off, then they shrivel up. So within the next 24 hours, this one should have shriveled up veins, and they should be coming out just like the other ones. A lot of these Mojave Pieds look pretty high white. Move it around a little bit for you. There's the little one's head. But you can see where they are actually trying to cut out with all these little jagged cuts. So once one of them starts to do that, that's when I'll actually cut the rest so they all have a way out. It does make a big slimy mess, but that's just part of it. Here's another one's head right at the top. No, none of them have poked out yet. Normally when they're getting close, they will poke their head all the way out and they'll start to breathe air. But a lot of these are pretty high white, but they're all pieds. I'd say most of them are Mojave Pieds. I think 5 are. And only 1 or 2 is a normal pied. Like this one is actually one of the normal pieds. It's going to be hard to see just because it's such a small cut I did on these guys, but give me 1 minute. So first we have the boys from our Purple Passion. It was a Purple Passion, a Purple Passion. We did the same pairing last year. We got 2 Blue-Eyed Lucies, both of which are spoken for. But those are the 2 Blue-Eyed Lucies. And as of right now, these are both also available. We have a Purple Passion, which is right here, And we have a super nicely patterned Super Phantom. So they're very, very similar. This is a Mojave. This is a Mojave Phantom, which makes the Purple Passion, and then this one is just a Super Phantom. I'll post some pictures for you guys of the holdback. We have actually this one's sister, and I'll pop that up there for you to show how nice the color came up. But these two little boys will be available, and we'll also do some updates as they shed, stuff like that. They just hatched this morning, so they're not going to look as nice as they will once they shed. And we have our females, and we got two Purple Passions, which right here. So most likely I'll be keeping one of these. I'm not sure which, but one of them will be available, at least one of them, if not both. Both are Purple Passion girls, and then a very nice dark Super Phantom female. She will definitely be available because I've actually got technically their older sister, which is the one I showed you guys the photo of, which I think is going to look this one's going to look a lot like her because there's very minimal white, very dark, and these purples will color up and look a lot nicer and brighter once they've shed. Here is one that has shed. We're waiting on him to start eating for us. This is a male Mojave Pied. He is currently available for deposit, as we want to make sure he's consistently eating. He's taken one meal, but we want to make sure he's eating at least 3 in a row for us, if not more. We don't mind holding them as long as necessary, but just like last year's babies, we used Beast. We'll put a picture up next to it to show you. He almost looks like a blackhead in the front, and then get these bright, bright yellows, almost golden. If they're anything like last year's babies, they'll develop the super dark saddle around, just like the dad. But this little boy is available. Alright guys, so we've got a bunch more babies hatching here in the next few weeks. When the Albino Pieds are out, the rest of that Pied clutch, and then we've got 2 or 3 others hatching in the next few weeks. I'll definitely update you guys, but we're going to take a sneak peek and see if this girl has her babies or has her eggs yet. She is a pastel pinstripe 100% het clown female. I was actually going to sell, and the 3 people who all wanted her backed out, so I'm glad they did. I ended up pairing her to, we have a GHI 100% het clown male, and we have a clown that's a Mojave pastel pinstripe. So if he's the dad, all of them should be pastel pinstripes, and it looks like she's all done. Let me flip you guys around. She's a first-time mom, but it looks like a wonderful clutch. Alright, so we're actually going to pause and we're going to come back a little bit later. You always want to make sure all of the eggs are completely out. As soon as I went to pick up her tail, we could see one last lump next to her butt. So we're going to give her a few hours and then we'll be back. Alright guys, so it's about 2 hours later and she's completely done. So here are her eggs. We're going to pull them out, candle them, and get them set up, ready to go to the incubator. Alright guys, so we're going to pull them all out and see how they look. If you catch them nice and early like this, they tend to not be stuck together yet. Or if they do, it's super easy to pull apart. So when you're breeding and you've seen, for example, you've seen an ovulation and you're expecting eggs, try checking on them at least once a day. That way, if they're having eggs, you can tell, and it makes it a lot easier if you want to separate them. Okay, so also make sure you don't really want them to touch the edge because that's where all the condensation is. So make sure there's a little bit of a gap all the way around. So as you can see, little veins starting. Little veins starting. That one's got a good one. So this one was flipped, probably by her. It might be the last one she just had. We're not going to flip it because this is the way she had it. So we will leave it. Same with this one. Not bad though. First time mom, and she actually had 9 eggs, which is the most I've gotten from a first time mom before. So we're gonna get these set up in the incubator. I'm gonna put a tag on there, and I've got to fully clean her cage, her water, stuff like that, so we get her back on feed. But I'll keep you guys updated. Also, if you guys are interested in any of the babies that were available or babies that are hatching, you can shoot us a message. We're on Facebook on Twisted Reptiles. TwistedReptiles.com is our website, and we post things on Morph Market once they've started to shed, but we will hold babies with deposits. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We do videos every single Wednesday, and we'll see you next Wednesday.